Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be taking a detailed look at the roadmap plan for the future of cards and tankards and providing my speculations on everything coming. I've taken the liberty of designing this much clearer roadmap so it's easier to follow along with where I'm going, and I do hope we can look back at this video in a year and see that everything planned has made it into the game. But until then, let's go ahead and look at what's coming on June 20th. Reputation-based taverns are going to be replacing age-restricted taverns, as age-restricted taverns haven't gotten quite the impact everyone had hoped. Even when age-restricted taverns were announced, the community was pretty divided on the idea, but what ended up happening is that people have just lied about their age in order to get into any tavern they want, and it usually takes some moderator resources to get rid of these kids from the 21 plus taverns. At the moment, we actually don't know anything else about the reputation taverns. My speculation is that your reputation will go up over time based on factors like playtime and how many battles you play, while a negative reputation will come from the number of confirmed reports on you. And if players ever have to block or mute you, that will likely impact your rating as well. Next, we have our look at the draft mode. More details about draft were just released recently, and what we know now is that you will build a deck of 40 cards as if you were to plunder just a bunch of times. This deck will work for 10 draft matches while you earn rewards along the way, and then it will delete and you'll make a new one. It looks like you can earn a bunch of cards from the rewards, which will be nice for new players. However, new players will get easily rolled all 10 times and end up wasting all 300 of their gold. Next, we have the taunt changes to combat mastery. Taunt creatures will now draw the targeting effects of any targetable spell or ability. The idea here being that cards like Dark Matter will have to hit the punching bag instead of your hearts directly, and thus wasting the mastery for the turn. In version 1.2, we can expect to see some cards come to our existing factions. This is going to be a small expansion, they say, so my guess is probably like 5 cards at most per faction, or maybe even just to Dungeon Master and Monsters' Rights Association, because those factions haven't gotten cards since like the game's side quest days, and because adding only 10 cards, 5 and 5, would be a lot easier than adding 5, 5, 5, 5, total 25 cards at once. The legendary... Oh, I'm thirsty. The legendary card rarity was something that was talked about probably about a year ago as a way to replace unique cards to make them feel more special. There's no real issue when it comes to changing just the look of unique cards or something, but I see it as a problem when these cards are made more rare. Then they'll probably add like a rare pack that increases your odds of getting one, because money. Underplayed deck types will be buffed. First thing that comes to mind is Assassin Strikes. Assassin Strikes are bad. They're really bad. They're like really bad. I hope Wings gets buffed. Maybe some loophole decks, because those seem really hit or miss. Usually miss. Maybe some changes to some of the bone cards. Add more variety. Looking at you, Flush Sewer. Life Pack kind of doesn't do anything. And Power of Garsang sucks. I really do need to make that Augur balancing video. During quarter 3, we'll be seeing version 1.3. Firstly planned are new locations. And don't get me wrong, the tavern is iconic and hasn't gotten old to me yet, but I would sure love to see some outdoors or maybe even the fabled Crystal Ballroom. There's also new music planned. The tavern music never really gets old. I'm always humming that tune. It would sure be cool to see the orchestral and 8-bit themes, credit to Tunes, make it into the game. And then other general songs that are like just as catchy would be pretty cool too. And it's funny because this feature was actually planned for last year and then never made it into the game. And so were new AI difficulty battles, but oh well, who cares? And then after this update, it is said that we'll start to see a more routine cycle of updates. Every 4 to 6 months will be the next updates, which each of these updates having a full set of new cards for us players to mess around with. Then towards the last quarter of the year, we will see one of those major updates. Starting that update cycle will bring us a full play set of cards and a new season pass with each season. The first new expansion will have new cards for us to use. My guess that'll either be a bunch of cards for one faction at a time, or that same number of cards split across all the factions to try and keep the faction balance. A new playset of cards, of course, is very exciting, but it does take a ton of development time, so it makes sense that each and every card will take at least a few days to balance design and finalize whatever, along with all the new scheduled season pass stuff and whatever else might come, so it'll take a minute, I'm sure it will. And the last thing we know planned is the addition of ranked taverns. These seem simple enough, and there's really a lot of ways this could go. Will rank be determined by a placement system where you have a hidden rank and then you do 5 or 10 placement battles that will assign you an up or down through an elo system, or a ladder where everyone starts at the bottom at a copper rank and then works their way up to, I don't know, crystal rank. I think the best way to do ranked for a game like this would be to have a matchmaker, particularly something that can run in the background in-game so you're not stuck waiting on a single screen for a battle. And then once a match is found, you both confirm the battle and then are taken to a special room where you 1v1 each other, then battle, and then once it's done, you guys are back onto your way into a regular tavern. Because otherwise, it could be really complicated trying to figure out abuse prevention systems from win trading if you could pick your opponent every time. And that actually about does it for everything in the roadmap. If you're still here, make sure to subscribe, get notified about new uploads. So thanks for watching. Cheers and outro.